By the way, like a little bit off topic here, but I just remembered something that Saxy, hopefully you're still in the chat, asked about earlier. It was asking if we could manufacture a rivalry for him, and I've got just a person. Misenhauer. We'll have the journalists face off.
Yeah, you meant a rivalry not for like him to write about, but for him specifically?
No, like
for Saxy?
Yeah, for him specifically. Yeah, for Saxy specifically. Yeah, because he was asking, yo, can I get a rival? I'm like, I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, Misenhauer makes sense. He's a little bit higher ranked, and I don't think he plays the game anymore. But
you're not playing our stuff. All right, and speaking about playing in our stuff, these two players, they play in them very regularly, and now we get to cast them in things that are not ours. We are going to be spawning in onto Eternal Empire, Ile, which does in fact stand for Effervescence. Eventually leaves Earth. Effervescence eventually leaves Earth, because that's when, you know, the sun explodes in like a couple billion years from now. So stock up on your bubbles. We're here in the top right-hand corner map, spotting in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the shark himself, the man who made the G15. He is all the way from the land of India. He is going to be representing Downfall Gaming. We have Demi.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, we have the big cat himself representing Vietnam, as he is currently teamless. We have MeomaikA.
And this, well, if Demi tweeted on Saturday that he had no idea how to play against MeomaikA, I hope he did his homework here. Probably did.
Yeah. We did have a couple of varying... Ooh, okay. So we did have a couple of varying openers. Demi did go for a hatch gas pool. Meanwhile, MeomaikA went for a bit of an earlier pool, and we see why as he's throwing down an Evo chamber.
There you have it. It's going to be very aggressive right off the gate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and typically this Evo is for +1 melee, so I imagine we will be seeing a Ling Flood coming out, as there it is, +1 melee before Ling speed.
They're slower, but they hit harder, so why not?
Yeah,
that's the trade-off that you make.
Interesting. So we'll see how this plays out, because Demi, he is getting a safety Baneling Nest, which, again, like some Zerg players do skip it until they see reason to throw one down, but Demi, knowing he's up against a player like MeomaikA, he is playing safe, he is getting a defensive Baneling Nest without seeing anything, and that will help so much against this Ling Flood. He is getting a third base, though, which could hurt him.
It definitely can. I don't know, I'm still liking Demi's chances, just because he will have that safety Baneling Nest. It really doesn't take too many Banelings to take out MeomaikA Zerglings, if you're somebody who watches GPO.
Yeah,
you know that.
That's MeomaikA is kind of known for taking just the worst trades in Ling Bane Wars.
He straight up does not care. He will just run them straight into Banelings, like, let's remake them.
He does have a big brain, but when it comes to Ling Bane, it just for some reason.
You know what it is? It's because his brain is so big that he overlooks these sort of minuscule moments.
Yeah, it's beneath him, really. You know,
exactly.
What is Ling Bane? Well, we'll see as Demi, he is flooding Lings across the map to try and deny this third base. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, he does have a defensive Baneling Nest on the way, but it isn't quite done just yet. He just has pure Lings, and he doesn't even have speed.
No, he does not. Not even going to be up in terms of the army supply either. We'll have the defender's advantage, and +1 melee will be kicking in fairly shortly, so it does mean that MeomaikA won't really need as many Lings to take them out. His Lings are slow, and I was so worried there. MeomaikA splitting up his Lings, sniping the Banelings. That is what I like to see coming up from a blue Zerg player, but he is dead to fire right now. So many drones. gonna be taken completely out. That was not quite split there. I think MeomaikA did try to split towards the end there, but unfortunately, just a little bit too late.
And we'll see how this goes because they are pretty even in worker counts despite MeomaikA losing all of them, as Demi, he is flooding more Lings across the map. Same with MeomaikA. And in Lingbane versus Lingbane, MeomaikA, he does have the upgrade advantage.
That he definitely does. Will he have the defender's advantage? Look at these! MeomaikA pulling another Meo!
Oh god, MeomaikA losing another clump of Lings there, and again, despite that though, he still does have the upgrade advantage. In a straight-up engagement, he still can win fights, and
not when he throws away his banelings, though.
Yeah, not the best trades.
Money unit right now in the ZvZ, in the Lingbane Wars.
Yeah, and in the end,
the Bane.
Oh my god, this counterattack is able to get more and more worker damage done here for Demi. Demi on point with his Ling control and his defense as well, as MeomaikA, he's forced to drone up.
Demi may have figured MeomaikA out. It's a little early to call, but yeah. He may have. I think Demi is kind of playing how he likes to play standard-wise in ZvZ, you know, going for that big Ling attack, trying to delay or at least deny that that third base from going up, and then eventually going back into a more defensive stance. But I don't know, he's doing it pretty well.
Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so we do have Demi transitioning into Roaches. He's already getting his +1 range. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, he's committing to this. He's getting +1 armor. Still no range to no sight of Roaches for MeomaikA.
The Zerglings. Wait, does +1 Carapace? That
it does.
It's still a one-shot on Banelings, right?
No. It means that you're.
Right?
No, Lings will survive Baneling hits with just barely a minuscule amount of health. So that does mean that MeomaikA will be able to tank more Baneling hits once that upgrade does finish. But we'll see how this comes into play because Demi, he is still going for Roaches.
Yeah, in fact, he is. And as Kuro loves to remind me multiple times, if you get your Roaches surrounded by Lings, your Roaches are completely not worth the investment. I know words.
Yeah, and nice Ling run by
from MeomaikA, but I think there's just enough army supply here, or way more than enough army supply here on both sides of the bases for Demi to hold this. All of his Banelings still alive. These Lings are starting to break in though, and the numbers are starting to mount up for MeomaikA. Okay, you can't one-shot. Banelings don't one-shot Lings when they have +1 Carapace, but that were a lot of Lings there, and also Carapace wasn't done yet. So.
Yeah, it would have helped if Carapace had finished up, and again, that was looking so good for MeomaikA. He killed the queen. He was winning the Ling war, but it takes a big Baneling to the face. That it is, and Demi, his defense is looking pretty solid.
It is, and we're reaching the point of the game where Demi's Roach count is starting to get impossible for MeomaikA to go in for these rounds.
Exactly, like with pure Ling, you can take advantage of small pockets of Roaches, but once there are enough, then they basically SimCity themselves, and you can't really get like a good surface area on the Roaches as they do protect themselves. And oh my god, MeomaikA, he's still trying to make this work, trying to get Ling run-bys in, but so far he's not able to, and he's forced to transition into Roaches. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I think he's kind of forced to apply this pressure though, because he's gonna have to be buying time to play catch up, which he is trying to do. He is trying to get that fourth base up on the map, which is why he's just running his Lings around like so, just trying to keep Demi back until he can mine from it.
Yeah, and we'll see if MeomaikA can make magic happen, as right now he is behind, and there it is. There is the signature MeomaikA move, as we do see a Spire on the way.
I feel like that's a lot of players' signature move in this region, but yeah.
In this region, yes. They get scouted! He gets spotted!
Yeah, Debbie's gotta feel a little offended here. It's like, you're trying to Spire me?
Okay, so I do have some insider information, as I was listening in on NXZ's stream earlier today, and he was having a conversation with Demi about MeomaikA, and Demi was talking about how he does, like, whenever he plays against MeomaikA, whenever he scouts a Spire, typically MeomaikA, once he gets scouted, he doesn't make Mutalisk, and he just commits to the ground army, and sometimes that catches Demi off guard, and Demi's...
Look at that, 8, yeah. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Look at that. 8 roaches being made, 9 more on the way. That is completely right. Thank you, NXZ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
For
this
that
could
insider
mean
info.
that Demi, he is trying to adapt and he won't be necessarily reacting to the Spire and the Mulus and instead focusing on his Roach army.
And it is about to get unstoppable here. Unstoppable for MeomaikA to deal with, that is. A couple of Ravagers are starting to be morphed in. MeomaikA definitely needs to buy time, but if he can, this could be the great equalizer in this matchup. Very nice concave going up this
round.
Flank coming in. The Ling from behind. Look at all the biles. Big brain move here by MeomaikA, trapping the roaches into the biles.
Oh my god. Like, even though he had the lower army supply, he was able to make it work with those things. Amazingly, he was able to trap Demi there, almost as if he foresaw that happening.
This just once again confirms what I think a lot of us already understood. Positioning matters so much more than supply when it comes, or upgrades when it comes to Roach v Roach.
Yeah, indeed. But MeomaikA was a little bit out of position. It looks like he... Yeah, he does lose his 4th base. Now both players are stuck on 4 bases.
Yeah, I was going to say that might be a weird pathing move. It might be intentional by MeomaikA. He is looking to go in from a flank, but I think he just miscalculated how much he can split up his army here. Demi is just looking to assert himself. And we have a little bit of a reverse from the previous situation. It's MeomaikA trying to go up this ramp.
Yeah, and MeomaikA, he was just caught out of position. He was pulled apart a little bit, and it looks like Demi may have enough. He is pushing through the roaches of MeomaikA, now getting on top of the Ravagers, and Demi.
I don't think this is enough. In flanking with the reinforcing roaches, forcing the biles. And this looking like it's going to be it. GG. And pardon me.
Demi takes game number 1.
Takes game 1 in the specified finals.
GG. And you said it earlier, right? Did Demi figure MeomaikA out? At least in that game, I feel like he did. And it did come into play where he did scout the Spire and he didn't react at all. He called MeomaikA's bluff, as he often does. As I do like the idea behind it, where MeomaikA throws down the Spire. If he gets scouted, he doesn't go for Mulus, even though your opponent thinks you're going Mulus, so it's kind of like a mind game. But Demi, he was ready for it. And yeah, he had the supplies.
I'm nodding my head in agreement there, and yeah, I'm not sure what more I can really add to that. I think it was definitely very subtle the way that Demi adapted to MeomaikA's style.
Yeah,
he didn't really make any sweeping changes to his own playstyle there, because as again, he went for the opening that Demi likes to go for in the ZvZ, and then transitioned in the way that he does like to go for. Well, okay, didn't get his Spire up, so that's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, and also like his opener, his defensive play with those Banelings as well. Even though MeomaikA was trying to sneak out like that upgrade advantage with his Lings, like Demi, he was just on point with his defense. And yeah, at least in game number 1, he was looking almost as if he had figured MeomaikA out. But we'll see, as MeomaikA, he isn't a one-trick pony. He has so many options available to him. He just goes in and then...
Not all of them are good options,
over. not all of them are good options.
He's got a lot of options. Not all of them are good.
He just rolls the dice and he just goes with whatever pops up. And
he's like, the cat god has told me that in this game where my opponent has gone mass immortals, I need to go into ultralisks. I don't know why that's my MeomaikA voice.
What's sad and funny as well is that we are never going to forget that. I'm never going to forget that. Whenever I see MeomaikA, whenever I see him in his EVP, I'm gonna go to Vietnam. I'm gonna meet him and be like, hey, look, in 2 years ago, in 2020, when you were playing against Beastork in GPO, what were you thinking?
You're gonna have the VOD ready on your phone. Just slap him and say, "Yo, now that I've met your cats, now that I've drank this cheap bubble tea."
Explain. Oh god! For those of you who are unaware, there was a semifinals match. I believe it was the semifinals where It was MeomaikA versus Beastork, and MeomaikA was so far ahead. There was no way that he could throw away his lead other than going mass ultralists against the mass immortal army of Beastork. And
we're all speechless at the end of that. We thought I don't remember who was casting it. I'm pretty sure Corky was there, and he was basically like, yeah, there is no way that MeomaikA throws this away. And I don't remember if it was you, I, or somebody in chat who was like, you underestimate MeomaikA.
Oh god, yeah, it was a game, to say the least, a very memorable game, very iconic for us at least. And yeah, it just goes to show that MeomaikA is actually willing to do anything in a game.
He really is,
for better or worse.
I'm recalling a lot of stuff from 2 years ago. I think one of Whisk's nicknames for him is Ender on Crack. Ender, the Filipino player, he is also very aggressive. He is also known for pulling off quite a number of unorthodox strategies. MeomaikA just takes it to the next level.
Definitely. I don't know if you've noticed, but Ender, he's been streaming a lot more StarCraft recently. And if you tune in, like, I'm perplexed. I'm like, what is this guy doing? In ZvZ, he gets a macro hatch at his natural on 2 base. I'm like, what? And he does that in almost every ZvZ.
I know my favorite thing about MeomaikA stream, not MeomaikA stream, sorry, Ender's stream is, though, after every game, he will rewind, and then he will go by each point and be like, okay, so this is what I did here. This is my rationale. It did not really work out this time because my opponent went for this. So maybe I'll adjust it by doing this instead. It's very enlightening. I'm not sure if it's the best place to learn how to play Zerg, but you know, I do really like that he goes through his thought process.
To look into the madness is what it is.
Exactly. And speaking of the madness, we are now
going on, Yaku.
On Everdream LE, ideally Edle, which is the nightmare portion of the dreaming. That's for all of you Vertigo fans. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, it is going to be our Red Zerg, all the way from the land of India, the shark himself, looking for that pounce. He is representing Downfall Gaming. We have Demi.
We went for a 12 pull, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the Big Cat himself. He is also an ESL Open Cup champion. Can he bring it back once again? We have, representing no one, as he is teamless, it is MeomaikA.
Yeah, it is teamless for the time being, but as he mentioned at the end of our most recent Grand Plapas Open, he's looking for a meme clan to join and be the spokesperson for a week.
Yeah, he asked us if we had a clan for him to join, and we're like, no, know about that one. But yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate that he is teamless. You know, he is one of the best in the region. He's definitely deserving of a team, but unfortunately, MeomaikA, he's a little bit down on himself on his current performance and play. So he's
really looking for MeomaikA Lair to MeomaikA Hatch.
Yeah, he isn't really looking to join a competitive team at the moment until he feels like he is ready. And speaking of being ready, like, he did go for an earlier pool and gas defensively, and because of that, even though Demi went for a 12 pool, we do have MeomaikA here ready for it.
Oh, he is getting his links caught off guard a little bit. I was gonna say, is MeomaikA overcommitting to defense though, as he is throwing down an additional spine crawler behind this, but getting the extra spine crawler does give MeomaikA the option to be a bit more aggressive here. So I do like it.
Yeah. And he did finish it up, which is a little bit surprising. He's being as safe as possible, as both players, they are getting their link speeds at around the same time. They are macroing up. They did go for like a lot more aggressive openers, but like they ended up canceling each other out in a way, where Demi was looking to be as aggressive as he could be, MeomaikA with a more defensive opener, and yeah, we are seeing things kind of equal out. I will give the edge a little bit to MeomaikA, as he does have that worker lead. Oh, we have 10 links on the way for Demi.
Yeah, okay, so we'll see how long that lead lasts, yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
This can definitely be rough. MeomaikA is not a slouch in that factor, or in that regard either. He's actually pumping up quite a lot more Lings, and this could be the Ling War that we wanted.
This is gonna be weird because there are no Bailey nests for either player. Oh, these queens could be caught out.
They're trying to okay, they could be caught out, and that's really terrible. But MeomaikA, what he's trying to do is he's trying to just chase the overlords away, make sure that Demi doesn't scout this.
No.
Now, unfortunately, I think he will be able to see this. The Lings of MeomaikA just not in position here, and the queens are gonna fall. But MeomaikA is committing to his counter or to his attack.
He is. He didn't go back home at all. He's committed.
This Spinecrawler.
The spine is gonna get surrounded, and there's the two queens at the ramp are gonna hold for. Oh no! The wall!
The wall is not a wall. MeomaikA gets this surround on both of them, and now the defender's advantage plus the Spinecrawler. MeomaikA is gonna hold this, and GG is called. MeomaikA ties up the series sideways 1-1. Can I get a big brain over in the chat? Because as I
oh my god. Demi, no. It's such a shame. As you can see, it doesn't just happen for Protoss players and for Terran players. Sometimes it happens for Zergs where the wall is just not quite a wall. Those two queens were there on the ramp, and they were meant to be side by side. They were meant to hold the line for as long as they could to give Demi some time to muster up a defense at home, and they were just a little bit misaligned. They weren't quite there, and MeomaikA takes game number 2. Hey.
What is this? I feel like it either happens to MeomaikA or it works in MeomaikA's favor. No, it's okay. Well, we can't really establish a pattern yet, but I feel like recently, whenever we cast MeomaikA, either he or his opponent just does not have a wall.
Yeah, just the Lings just find a way.
MeomaikA things.
Yeah, and oh my god. So I was gonna, we didn't really get into it, but Everdream, it is one of the shorter rush distance maps. So I was expecting like some early aggression coming out, and it was looking really good for Demi. He was able to catch MeomaikA's queens off guard, and MeomaikA, he was kind of forced almost, it felt like he was almost forced all in, but MeomaikA, he was just in control of the situation the entire time. He knew what was happening. He wanted those queens to get picked off. He wanted them out in the middle of the map to buy time.
Exactly. I feel like such a fool for doubting about the overcommitment with two spine crawlers. Nah, dude. See, the problem is MeomaikA is just thinking like 150 steps ahead. Well, I don't even know what game we're playing. I thought we were playing Civ.
Right now, MeomaikA is playing Tarkov like 2 hours from now. He's not even playing StarCraft. He's playing Tarkov right now in the future.
And speaking of playing Tarkov in the future, here we have the player who should do that at some point. I imagine he probably will at some point. We have spawning in the 3-ish o'clock position of the map, in the 3-ish o'clock position of Purity and Industry. LE. We have our Red Zerg making it to his first ever finals. I think we forgot to mention that. First ever finals in the ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare, but he is, in addition to that, a 15-time Grand Platypus Open champion. He is representing Downfall Gaming all the way from the land of India. We have Demi.
And spawning in the 12 o'clock position of Purity and Industry LE, we have the Vietnamese player representing Clan Jiggly? Question mark? He is teamless. He is the big cat. He is the best player in Vietnam. Is he the best in Southeast Asia? His opponent has something to say about that. We have MeomaikA.
Isn't India more of South Asia?
It's yeah. It isn't technically part of Southeast Asia, but for StarCraft, we kind of put it in there anyway. You know.
Yeah. Well, except for not ESWC, the
WESG?
WESG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
yeah,
for
true.
WESG, where India is in the quote-unquote West Asia category. Those are not spore crawlers. I thought for a second MeomaikA was going to be pulling a cats, but no. MeomaikA is he has realized what worked for him in the previous game.
He's pulling a cat.
Boys.
He's pulling a Mio is what he's doing. He is his own cat, I'll have you know. And
we need
yeah,
that
very interesting.
now.
We do. Very interesting opener here from MeomaikA. He did go for a hatch first, which was surprising to me when I saw the openers. I was like, oh my god, he's being so bold. But I imagine this is to counteract that. He went for the hatch first, and he's getting spines defensively as he's looking to be as greedy as possible. And part of me thinks that this is the early signs of maybe two-base Muta.
It very much can be. It's not a terrible position strategy here with the rush distance. There is a lair. It's not gonna be Hydra laying, is it?
No. Okay. So this is an incredibly early lair. I think it's too early for two-base Muta. Like, there's just not enough saturation here. So I imagine this is for either Dropalords or Nidus.
Infestation pit. Yeah, probably Nidus. Yeah.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be an infestation pit. Okay, he's taking some more gases. This has to be for Nidus, right? Or he doesn't have Overlord speed, so Dropalords doesn't make too much sense, even though the by-air distance is quite small. As you do have Demi diving in, he is trying to find some kind of damage. Does he scout the lair? He does scout the morphing lair.
It's definitely a risk that you take when you make your lair natural lair. And Demi, he's not undeterred for the time being. He realizes that he needs quite a bit more information, so he's going to be setting up an Overlord that can potentially go into the bases of MeomaikA. Would like to see MeomaikA pull a Jet.
So
his
I'm trying to piece this together with the information that we have, right? So Demi, he was talking about how sometimes Demi would scout something, he would see something, and then MeomaikA wouldn't commit to it, and it's more of a mind game sort of thing, right? And then Demi would overcommit defensively. So we'll see as MeomaikA, he is droning up, and he hasn't committed to anything just yet. He hasn't utilized. There it is.
Okay, not entirely what I was expecting here, but it makes sense.
That's what I mean.
The gas count.
Like, this is what MeomaikA does. He does the unexpected. He went early lair for an early roach warren. You don't need a lair for early roaches. I guess it's for a Ravager push. Maybe it's MeomaikA.
He's just gonna borrow them and move them across the map from his starting base, or he could just use them defensively. Who even knows at this point? He could pull a Vivid.
Who even knows?
I would like to see him pull a Vivid.
It would be amazing to see, as we do have roaches on the way. Again, scouting is being denied once more. And Demi, what has he seen? He has seen the buildings.
He clicked on it, yeah.
Yeah, he did see the Roach Horn and the Evo Chamber behind the mineral line, and they are working on their upgrades. So we are going to be seeing a very strong two-base push coming out from MeomaikA, and will Demi be able to be ready for this defensively? As, again, he's been on point with his scouting, but what does he have? He's going for a Spire?
Yeah, because, the roaches can't shoot up late. Catch up.
Keep up. I don't know if this is the right call. I think Spire Mutalisks are going to be too late. Like, the push is coming now.
It may be too late, but here's the thing though. Like, the way this map works is MeomaikA is going to have to push up a ramp in a very narrow choke point. If he doesn't realize that there's a third base. I do like that MeomaikA is now going around with his lings, just seeing what's what. This is
He scouts the third, he confirms the third as well as the drones as well. His roaches are still in the middle of the map as he is getting more and more. No Ravagers quite yet, just pure roaches. And we have roach speed finishing up pretty soon.
He drew the army away, He drew the army away. These banelings are so slow. Okay, the lings are back in position. And they are looking like they can, encircle these roaches fairly easily. Is open ground. MeomaikA just pulling back and forth, not quite sure of the angle that he wants to go for.
Yeah, it's so difficult, but like, because of the mass amount of lings, like, if MeomaikA gets surrounded, then Demi can clean up. So MeomaikA has to be so careful with the positioning of his roaches, and making sure he does hug a wall where he can to make sure the surface area isn't there for the lings.
And he is That is exactly what he's trying to utilize here.
Yeah.
He's just trying to find these sort of angles where he can snipe the start base, try to get away. These Lings of Demi are in prime position to flank this though. Then Mulus just to clean up whatever is left. And this is a lot of Lings, but MeomaikA once again trying to act his own little bit of SimCity, but the roaches are stretched thin. It doesn't seem to be enough though. There's just way too many.
The bane connections were good, but there weren't enough Lings, and +1 range has finished up for MeomaikA. Now he's pushing through. He could even snipe the Spire if he wanted to, but he's going for worker kills instead. And there just aren't enough Mutalisks to clean this up.
Eventually there will though, but okay, GG is called. MeomaikA now up 2-1. I was gonna go into this whole thing of like, yeah, you know, if Demi just keeps his workers alive, then eventually the Mutalisks will help out. But yeah, unfortunately that was not quite the case there. MeomaikA, after dropping that first game in what I would argue was Demi styling on MeomaikA a little bit, MeomaikA's pushing back quite a bit. You have angered the cat god.
That you have, and again, I do kind of question Demi's decision to go for a Spire there, especially like against any kind of 2-base roach play. Mutalisks, they tend to come out too late to be able to help too much against them, and we saw that in that game where really he needed that ground army to be there, and there just weren't enough Lings to clean up the roaches, and MeomaikA, he was just able to push through and just end the game.
I'm just looking at not the replay, but the playback, the stream on stream here, and it's what I was kind of suspecting in as it played out, but I'm a little bit more sure. I understand why Demi didn't do it, but honestly, I think there was an opportunity where Demi had enough Lings to pounce on MeomaikA before he got to that. Yeah, earlier on, before he got that critical amount of roaches. He could sort of encircle or surround these small sort of pockets of roaches, like we were mentioning in the previous game. But again, I understand why he didn't do that. There was no guarantee for Demi that there weren't reinforcements on their way.
Yeah, and that could, like, his mentality could also come into play in that. Like, maybe he was just a little bit too scared of what MeomaikA was doing. Like, maybe he himself wasn't too sure what he was even scouting. Like, we were having a little bit of trouble there as well with that early lair. And yeah, he was just a little bit too tentative, and because of that, MeomaikA was able to take advantage.
Speaking of which, here we are now going to be spawning in onto Nightshade, otherwise known as Melodonna LE, which I'm just realizing every time Kuro casts, I feel like she casts on Nightshade. So glad she's catching onto Melodonna. Here in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, we do in fact have our red Zerg player all the way from the Jewel of India. He is looking to get his vengeance. He needs to start turning things around. As his opponent is on match point, representing Downfall Gaming, we have the shark himself, Demi.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Nightshade LE. He was down 0-1 in this series, and he was able to take 2 in a row. Can he close it out? We will see, as he is representing Vietnam. It is MeomaikA.
And this time, playing out a little bit more standard than I think what we're used to from MeomaikA, especially on Everdream.
Yeah, a little bit more standard. As Demi, I do like Demi's opener a little bit more. I do it myself, where he did go for gas pool hatch, which means he will have an earlier link speed. He will get an earlier baneliness as well. This is my go-to ZvZ opener. It lets you be aggressive, and it also lets you dictate the pace of the game, because you get link speed so much faster, and you also have banelings to be aggressive or defensive, which is quite nice. Meanwhile, MeomaikA went for a bit of a more standard economic opener, going for a pool gas hatch instead.
Surprised he didn't go for his spine ling rush. He did so often on this map.
And again, already we do have
early Roach Warren, yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting to say least, and this could be a little bit of a mistake as Demi, he should be applying pressure once Link Speed does finish up with his own Lings. I say that, but he doesn't really have too many. There we go. 14 Lings in production for Demi, and this could catch MeomaikA completely off guard. But he does have 2 queens on the ramp as a wall, so it shouldn't go
Is it a wall, though?
as game number 2. I think so, maybe. I think so.
Is it a wall, though? Those queens, you know,
yeah,
they've been oiling up.
Looks can be deceiving. Oh, I think he tightened up. I think he tightened up.
Yep, there it is. Oh, they're even looking at each other like, hey.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
Yeah, please. Oh god. So yeah, we do have again. Demi, he's basically banking up Lings in his natural, like he's been storing them up, and there we go, they have been revealed. MeomaikA does see all the Lings, and I do like that he was trying to pull them away.
And that's why it's so important, right, for MeomaikA to have gone in with those Lings of his, because now, you notice, he kind of stopped producing roaches, he switched into producing a heck of a lot of Lings, which is absolutely what he wants. These roaches are mostly here to soak up Banelings, so it's very much going to be a micro battle that we're going to see out of these 2 players. You don't hear that often in ZvZ, but when it does happen, it is top notch.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit worried here because Demi, he ends up backing off. He's trying to deal with these Lings that are out of the map for MeomaikA. A little bit concerned that they're going to deal a little bit too much damage, and this is buying MeomaikA so much more time to get more and more roaches. Like early on, we were talking about it, where there's a low roach count, Mass Link can do so well and get nice surrounds, but now that opportunity is getting slimmer and slimmer for Demi.
It definitely is, just looking at the supply, and once again, I mean, you know, supply can be deceiving, especially with roaches, but when used defensively like this, look at how MeomaikA is utilizing the SimCity.
Yeah.
Look at how he's just tightening everything up, yeah.
Oh, is it enough there?
These Banelings are so exposed, they're just getting sniped from by the roaches from behind, but the rest of the roaches do get taken out. There's still a very healthy link count for Demi, but MeomaikA still has a heck of a lot of army. Good game,
Yeah,
well played is called. Okay. And with that,
GG.
yeah. With that, MeomaikA is going to be going on to be your ESL Open Cup OCE Fueled by Dare TM number 10 champion, his second ever ESL Open Cup championship. A lot of hype surrounding Demi. I was absolutely very hyped. I just wanted him to complete that circuit. You know, he's won 15 GPOs, and now it's his first finals into the ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare. Unfortunately, it's his demon. The shark was apparently no match for the cat.
Exactly. Demi, he's been looking so good recently, and as you were saying, this is his first finals. He was able to take out Probe, getting here, and he was looking so good, but in the end, he just couldn't take it to his fellow C Zerg player. MeomaikA, again, he kind of excels with this. Like he had a lot of variety, a lot of builds, and that's why it's always a treat to cast him. I know a lot of people are like ZvZ, that's like Roach v Roach and it's boring. But when it comes to the C region, like it's anything but that.
This is literally Mad Max world. It's full of anarchy. Anything goes.
Yeah. Literally anything, as we've seen here today. And yeah, GG, well played. MeomaikA is able to take his second championship here, his second Dare championship, I should say. And yeah, like he's looking really good, and I hope he's feeling a little bit better about himself. Like again, on social media, he has been kind of down, so do give him some love. He is a good player, and he actually, you know, he is teamless because of that. It's by his own decision. He like left the team.
Doesn't want to waste the paycheck.
Yeah, that's what was so sad about it. He felt like he wasn't deserving to be on a team at the moment just because of how he was playing. That's why, like, we saw, for example, Justice Simon got picked up almost immediately, and MeomaikA still teamless, right? So again, give him some love. Like he's an amazing player, and we've seen that here today.
That we definitely have, and again, hopefully, I was gonna say stuff, but then I realized I was just gonna be repeating what you said. Okay, so yeah, GG to all of our players. This is absolutely one of the top ESL Open Cups that we've ever had. The actual results of them looked a little bit one-sided, but the games themselves, they were insanely close.
Demi versus
now.
Probe?
Demi versus Probe, Demi versus Azure, MeomaikA versus Demi to an extent, Seether versus Azure. Okay, maybe. Okay, funnily enough, the series that went to the ace match, maybe not as close.
Yeah, and just such good games today, and we didn't get to speak to so we didn't really get to mention much about Demi, but again, like, this was his first finals, and he has been looking more and more in form in these recent weeks. So even though he did go down here to MeomaikA, I am looking forward to how he progresses as a player over the following weeks. Like, he is back on that grind. He is looking better and better. He is still not at his peak form. So again, like, I'm looking forward to seeing him again next week. I'm looking forward to seeing him on, I was about to say on Saturday, but we actually don't have GPO this Saturday. So I'm looking forward to seeing him next week. Yes. Next week, and hopefully maybe even a rematch, you know, MeomaikA versus Demi again. Like, I like this little rivalry that they have going on. There's a lot of rivalries in this region.
And with that, Light, I'm excited to see the growth of these players, but after such a hype cast, I'm feeling like I need a little bit of pick me up. You know what I'm feeling like?
What do you feel like, Yaku? What do you need?
I feel like I need to go down to my local Woolworths and pick up myself a bottle of Day Iced Coffee Triple Espresso. That's 3 shots of espresso in 500 milliliters, made with Robusta and Arabica coffee beans. CranKy. I just realized I didn't do the Australian intro at all today.
I was about to say the same thing.
After you told me to before the cast. Hopefully this will suffice.
As soon as you were saying that, I'm like, man, you didn't do an Aussie intro.
I realized it.
Damn it. And there we have it. Thank you so much, Daunted, for gifting that sub to MeomaikA in the chat. MeomaikA, of course, being MeomaikA Cats on Twitch. Give him some ducks, give him some quacks. And yeah, GG, well played.
Redeem a group, please.
Yeah, and also keep an eye out for Saxy. We mentioned him earlier. Saxy, he is a writer. He's an Australian writer. He writes for Snowball Esports, and he typically, after each of these tournaments, he interviews the winner. So right now he's actually looking for MeomaikA to interview him, since MeomaikA left the game immediately after he won. So look forward to that.
Now's your chance. He's in chat right now, Saxy.
Yes, Saxy. MeomaikA is in chat. That's actually why I was messaging.
At least 2 minutes ago. Yes, we do have a delay.
Yeah, and so do look forward to that. We'll be retweeting it. So hey, if you follow our social media as well, CranKy Ducklings, we are live every week with this tournament as well as many others. We also organize our own Southeast Asian / Oceanic tournament in Grand Platypus Open. We actually mentioned it a couple of times today. And yeah, typically we see similar players. A couple that don't and a couple that do. We do allow Hong Kong players as well, so we do have Beastork and Gogo Joey who participate in our tournaments. Meanwhile, players like Huts, he has yet to make an appearance in our tournaments. We did get Pig Jr.
He said
and
he was
Peter.
going to.
Yes, he did say that.
He said he wants to.
Yeah. Maybe he's a little bit too busy with Tarkov nowadays or with Valorant. I'm not too sure. But I would love to see Huts in those tournaments. That's typically Saturdays at, I believe, 7 p.m. KST.
No,
6 p.m.
4 p.m. KST. No, 5 p.m. KST. It's 4 p.m. Singapore.
There you go. It won't be this weekend, as just a reminder for everyone, the GSL finals are this weekend. Will be a TVT finals between TY and Cure? Question mark?
TPG. Yep, Cure.
DPG. Yeah. So because
I
of
don't know
that,
who to root for there.
we are rescheduling our tournaments so that everyone can tune into the GSL finals, a TVT finals, hashtag Terran patch and all that. But yeah, so I hope everyone tunes into that. And I hope everyone has enjoyed the cast. Like it's been great today. We've had some sick series, some sick games. It's been great. It's been great.
I'm nodding along. With that, we are going to be signing out for the evening. Oh, wait, outro time.
Yeah, outros.
Why can we? We will be signing out, and so Light. Where can we find Kuro?
Kuro, of course, if you were with us earlier, Kuro is our production. She observes and she casted a game today as well. You may have noticed a different voice casting. Kuro, aka 16th Squad Senseki, she is our information fairy. You can find her on Twitter at 16th Squad S. And yeah, she does a lot for StarCraft. We do a lot for StarCraft. There's a lot of projects that we're involved with. We run the StarCraft Esports Twitter accounts. We run the sign-up list. We run SE2 birthdays on Twitter as well. CranKy Ducklings is but another project that we started working on. We're kind of we're kind of everywhere. We do a lot for Wikipedia as well. So yeah, if you're interested in Kuro or myself, you can find me light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. You can find me there, as I usually retweet whenever we go live. I usually tweet about my ladder endeavors. I'm back in Masters. It may have been due to
congratulations.
Yeah, it may have been due
to say congratulations, Light.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice being back. It's been a year. It's been a year since I've been in Masters. But yeah, I'm calling Claire out. Claire, what's going on?
Oh.
Yo, I've seen you play a lot of GTA on stream. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean that's because his girlfriend forces him.
It's true. It's very true. It's all her fault. But yeah, and Yakuzaku, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com at Empore Yakuzaku. I'm going to be streaming something tomorrow. I still haven't decided. It's either Korean Ladder or City Skylines, or maybe it's a wild card. Either or, one of the three. Other than that, !Discord in chat. You can find get a link to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server, where you can find me there, although I'm not an admin, so please don't PM me. It's also a good place for, if you're interested in signing up for our events, it's a good place to find the other players and get a little bit organized. Other than that, buy my shirts.
Yeah, buy his shirts, as he doesn't actually have any for sale. But
I'll sell it to you. I'll take it off.
Don't do it on stream. As that is it for us for today. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week. Our next broadcast will be on Thursday, as we will be casting. I say we. Yaku will be casting NA Contender Season 2, I believe, for 2020. It could be Season 3. But that is if you are interested in some, in some NA StarCraft. That is Season there as well. Confirms. Season 3, there you go. As again, we cast a lot of StarCraft, not just Southeast Asian, but also NA, Korean as well. We're kind of all over the place. Again, check out our Twitter, as we do have our weekly schedule there as well, if you are interested.
Worldwide.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. And that is it for us for today. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be raiding another StarCraft 2 streamer, so do stay tuned if you want to support the scene. I'm just looking. NXZ is streaming, so we may raid him. I don't think Vivid is. I think Probe finished streaming, so we will be just checking who is live. Claire is streaming as well. Maynard is streaming.
Dax is streaming Overwatch.
Yeah, god damn it, Dax. Otherwise we would raid him. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll be raiding someone else to support them. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Bye.